The scene opened with a request from the Greeks. These were not ethnic Greeks per se, but people from different lands who shared the Greek culture and its language. After the conquest of Alexander the Great, Greek transcended the parochial concern of those in Greece and became a world language with a world culture. Basically, anyone living outside of Palestine in the eastern Mediterranean basin considered themselves Greek, Jew, and non-Jew alike. These Greeks were on pilgrimage. They traveled up the seacoast to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover, one of the 3 great pilgrimage feasts on the Jewish calendar. While they were in the capital, they wanted to see Jesus. The request was given to Philip, a man with a Greek name, so we can assume he spoke the language fluently. He passed it on to Andrew, then both of them approached Jesus with their desire to see the Lord. Let's step back for a moment for the bigger picture. Outsiders wanted to see Jesus. This meant that the Lord's reputation had spread to the world beyond Palestine. Non-natives were evangelizing other non-natives. Even Gentiles heard of Jesus and wanted to see him. For the Lord, this was the moment of glory and revelation. This was the moment of faith. This was the time for his suffering and death. Like a grain of wheat that had died and fallen to the ground on good soil to produce a greater yield, so must the Son of Man give up his life for the lives of others. Only through death could he and his followers live forever. Now Jesus compared the selfish with the selfless. The self-centered man tries to preserve his life and his possessions only to lose both in the end. But the selfless disciple has 2 qualities. He serves and follows Jesus. In fact, the Lord always leads. The servant serves wherever he leads him. The initiative is always God's, not the disciples. If the Christian follows the lead of the Lord, he will receive honor, praise, and reputation greater than any man on earth can give him. Honor that can only come from the Father. Like anyone, Jesus had service doubts, but deep down he knew his mission, to suffer for others, both Greek and Jew alike. The moment of suffering was coming. This would be the same moment of revelation. So he prayed for that moment, the time when he would hang on the cross, the instant the Father would reveal himself through his Son as a loving, selfless God. So the Father responded, yes, he would reveal himself to everyone through his Son, not once, but over and over and over. In other words, the revelation of the Father through the Son on the cross was both universal and timeless. The image of the dying Jesus was for all people and for all time. Some people understood the divine message. Others were confused. It was thunder. No, it was meant for Jesus alone, not for us. The Lord clarified the misunderstanding. God's words were for everyone. The Father was on the move. He would soon judge the world and eject the evil one and his minions from the world. How would he do this? Jesus pointed to his death. On the cross, he would gather everyone to himself. The saving event for everyone in all time was the death and resurrection of Christ. While we can mentally separate these two by a timeline, death on Friday, resurrection on Sunday, in truth, they are simply two aspects of the same reality, something we call the Paschal mystery. Both reveal the identity and power of God. By giving his Son up to death, he shows everyone he is a loving God. He sets aside any and all transgressions of those who accept his selfless gift. By raising up his Son, he gives us a share in that life that he poured out on the cross, eternal life. Through the death and resurrection of Jesus, God justifies us. He makes us right by him. We have victory over death and a share in grace, the very presence of the Trinity. Through the cross and through the tomb, we receive a relationship with God we could have really no other way.